As a dungeon master, it's crucial to captivate the attention of your players and engage them in the game session. One way to achieve this is by creating an immersive world that feels realistic. Mastering this skill will help you to transport your players to a vibrant, living world where they can forge their own legends. In this video, we will be discussing verisimilitude, what it is, why it is important, and how we can incorporate more of it into our games. Welcome to DungeonWise. According to the dictionary, verisimilitude is the appearance of being true or real. Our game worlds will appear more realistic and immersive if we present our players with a greater sense of verisimilitude. This can be quite challenging. Let's explore 3 techniques that will bring your game world to life. Respond to player actions. It's important to adapt your plans for the story to reflect the choices of your players. As a dungeon master, you should allow your players to shape the story through their actions. If you give players more agency in the world, the game becomes more engaging and immersive. To be successful, you need to maintain a level of flexibility and openness to unexpected twists and turns. Be willing to adjust and accommodate those unexpected player decisions. In addition to allowing player choices to shape the story, make sure the choices have meaningful consequences in the game world. This includes both positive and negative outcomes. The meaningful impact of the decisions will deepen the sense of realism of the story you're building together. Good examples of meaningful consequences include changes in the world's political landscape, the emergence of new factions or enemies, or even the death of an important NPC beloved by the players. While it's important to have a basic plan in place for the overall narrative arc of your campaign, it's equally important to remain open to improvisation. One of the joys of tabletop role-playing is the unpredictability of it all. Embrace this chaos and use it to enrich your stories. If players go in a different direction than what you planned, try to incorporate it into your future plans for the story. This will keep everyone around the table excited for future sessions, including you. Over time, it will become impossible for your players to know when you're improvising and when you had something prepared all along. Build memorable NPCs and environments. Players interact with the game world by interacting with its environment and the NPCs that inhabit it. Try to give each of these enough depth. Well-rounded NPCs should have distinct personalities, some background, and motivations. Players will be more likely to engage with these and remember them in the future. A tragic backstory or a unique quirk will bring your NPCs to life. Try to stick to only a few bullet points for your NPCs. Don't invest too much prep time on details before they're needed. Only flesh out the characters as they survive multiple meetings with the party. Populate your world with diverse, richly detailed locations that evolve over time. This should include settlements, dungeons, and natural landscapes, each of them with their own unique features and challenges. For instance, you could create a town that changes depending on the time of day. While it is safe as long as the sun is in the sky, at night it is haunted by vampires or werewolves. Dynamic environments create a sense of excitement and make the players feel they're truly a part of the world. You also need to use sensory details to bring the description of your scenes to life. As DMs, we might get carried away with the technical details of the spaces our players visit. Beyond the battle grid, however, try to enhance immersion by providing vivid descriptions of sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and textures in the world that surrounds them. Think about the emotional vibe you want your players to feel. Now, try to use the senses beyond sight in order to describe it. Establish a coherent world by keeping notes. Keep notes of what happens each session. Try to boil down everything to 1 or 2 sentences, so you don't get overwhelmed when you consult your notes later. It's not the end of the world if you miss or forget something. Try the actions of the players to come up with interesting consequences for them in future sessions. Write down how they impact the lives of the NPCs they come in contact with. Is the party gaining any followers? Did they create a new enemy for their cause by accident? If you're not a good note taker, ask one of your players to share their notes with you at the end of every session. Develop a world book. Create a reference document that outlines the history, geography, cultures, and politics of your world. I keep mine in Notion. It's a free tool and it's extremely flexible. There are also other options like World Anvil and Legend Keeper. The most important section in the world book is the database you keep with the NPCs and villains. A recurring meeting with someone who seemed like a throwaway will add a deep sense of realism to your game. Building an immersive world filled with verisimilitude is only one step on the way to becoming an amazing dungeon master. You also have to have a great start to each session in order to engage your players. Watch this video to learn more.